Could you imagine solely focusing on the NBA? Like if that was your job, like, oh, I'm an NBA, I'd be like, oh, this is just not fun.
Yeah, at some point you just got to be honest about it. Like there's a lot of it that like people get worked up about that just it's not interesting. And then like a lot of the
why not though?
It's just there's too much drama. It's too much like, you know, the load management stuff. People, it just doesn't sit well with people. Like there's just you know, the in-season tournament, like it just, a lot of it feels really gimmicky. Until you get to the playoffs and then things ratchet up a little bit and then it's fun. But even in the playoffs, because it's a 7-game series, there's times where like a team will be down.
It's not that for me. It just doesn't feel as physical. The game's too spread out. It feels like it's like isolation basketball. It doesn't feel like what it used to feel like where, you know, guys were going to the rim. Guys were, you know, just it was a different style of play.
Ant-Man be going to that rim, boy. Whew.
Oh, Anthony Edwards? He's great. He's fun.
He goes after it, dog.
One of the only ones.
Yeah, he gets.
But defensively, it's not this. Like you as a defensive player should be able to recognize there's not as much physicality as there used to be.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. It's funny because I alluded to it coming into the show. Rob Parker said he thinks that Caitlin Clark could play in the NBA. And he said just figure out a way to get her to run off of some picks and some screens. There's so much open space as long as you can shoot. I mean, if she can handle the switching of the weight of the ball, I mean, why couldn't she?
Well, that's kind of a big
it'd be
deal.
an interesting shakeup.
It's kind of a big deal.
It'd be an interesting shakeup if Caitlin Clark could play. I mean, the Big 3 offered her some money to come play. I mean, that's against dudes, isn't it?
Yeah,
They don't have a women's Big 3.
I mean, I'm not quite sure Rob was able to keep a straight face while giving that take. I don't know. Like that seems like one of those ones where he puts it together and then goes, "Well, here goes nothing," and just kind of throws it on the air, and then we.
If LeBron wasn't so old, would you have the argument and the discussion point if LeBron is playing in a league that actually could support a Caitlin Clark making it in that league? How can you have a GOAT conversation? Because no girl would be able to play no woman would be able to play in the 90s. You're not making it in the 90s. It's too physical. Just way too physical. The physicality of basketball is not there in today's NBA. There is a lot of kind of going through the motions. There is a lot of just, you know, dribble to half court, pull up, shoot.
Yeah, but you had designated shooters. Like you had guys like Tim Legler, Steve Kerr. They weren't driving to the basket.
Craig Hodges.
Mark Price.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
I mean, if you got somebody who can penetrate a defense and get deep on in there, like get real deep into the paint and challenge the rim, there's going to be someone open spotting up. That was 90s basketball. That was how it worked. You had somebody that was a slasher, and they're either going to the rim or they're going to kick it out to the guy that's open, and all the open guy had to do was make the shot. I mean, what else did you see Craig Hodges do? Honestly, like no shade, but I'm just saying. What else did you see Craig Hodges do other than spot up and shoot?
Win the 3-point contest. I think he won it like 2 or 3 times, if I'm not mistaken.
So if she was a designated shooter, why would that be so outlandish to think that she could play in the NBA? I mean, at a glance, it sounds ridiculous to say it, but in the end, she is the greatest college basketball player to ever play, and it's been based upon her ability to really shoot from anywhere on the court. So why would that be outlandish?
I was going to ask this question, like, is she the greatest ever to play just because she has the scoring title? I mean, I think
I wouldn't say that, but
because LeBron's has a scoring title, and people still view Michael Jordan better. Some people still view Kobe Bryant as better. I mean, depends on who you ask with all that. Like it.
It's like Emmett
but
Smith.
everybody's given the same.
But
everybody's given the same amount of time in college, though. Like it's like you have a set amount of time that you can get to the record.
Yeah, but much like we kind of pointed out how the game's changed over time, because people want to compare Caitlin Clark's, you know, records to Pete Maravich.
Right.
They didn't have a 3-point line. They didn't have a shot clock. He did it in 3 years, like the amount of points he had. So, not to say it's apples to apples because it's a male to a female, but there have been those changes.
But
in the
if
game
we're saying
that
if Rob Parker's out there saying that she could play in the NBA, then why not compare them?
I guess I personally am not really trying to compare off that.
That's fair.
I can't really. I mean, Rob Parker also doesn't look at Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback in
He's
NFL history.
the luckiest of all time. Stop it.
Huh.
So, I can't respond to everything Rob Parker thinks.
I mean, I tell you this right now, and I hope he hears this. If there's one thing I hate, it's Rob Parker.
Oh, wow.
I'll say that right now. I hope he hears that. Screw
But you did
I'm still trying to get some of
content
his
with him.
merch. He told me he would send some, but then I think he was trying to get me to Apple Pay him or something.
Hey,
I was like, you can't really hook up a coworker with your merch.
Yeah, he wants he needs your information. He's got to make that happen.
And the worst is, like, I was back there one time when I was in studio because he's got like those patches or whatever on there. He's got like the branding.
Yeah.
I started to peel that off because I noticed it was starting to fall off. I was like, that barely even stays on.
It's a mall kiosk special. He goes to the kiosk at the mall and he gets them patched on and then slings them for triple the price. That's
Rob Parker.
And his, by the way, ordering from him, if you work here, the $4.95 shipping and handling is him going up to the 4th floor, pulling it out of a cardboard box and bringing it down the elevator. That's what $4.95 is. And then didn't even bother wrapping it, just handed me the shirt. I said, "Did you just get this from upstairs?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like,
yeah.
Why'd I pay $4.95 shipping and handling? Well, I handed it to you, didn't I? I'm like, I just paid $5 when I could have just grabbed it from the box upstairs.
You just go give Rob $5 next time you see him.
Just like, all right, here it is.
That's what you get charged for, the shipping and handling of a conversation with Rob.
It's just like he'll figure out a way. All the time. So there it is. There's our coverage.
Caitlin
of the,
Clark. Does she take the $5 million or no? Yes or no?
I don't think so.
No.
Because I mean, wouldn't you think she would have chased championships in the WNBA if she could?
I mean, I feel like she can do both.
But it turns into a spectacle. If she wants to be respected.
If you can hoop in the Big 3 and ball out and then go be a baller in the WNBA, why would that be a spectacle?
To that point, don't you feel like it's becoming something where, like, oh, now we're just offering her money because we feel like she's going to draw attention, she's going to bring viewership?
100%.
It's like is there legitimacy behind long-term her playing in it, or is it more of just about the early on drawing attention to the Big 3 and then kind of seeing where it goes?
I think you got to see where it goes. But if you're going to invest in something and go big with it, that's pretty big. I mean, if you think about it, who is hotter in the sport of basketball than Caitlin Clark? And to that point, right now in March, who in sports? Oh, Shohei. But who else? But who else?
That's probably not why you want to be hot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little infamy there. But, even though it shouldn't necessarily be, but it's a story.
My only question is if they lose, right, in their next round matchup versus Colorado, which I think they should win. But if they were to lose, how much hype is there still around it? I mean, I'm still going to watch because I think Notre Dame's going to be Oregon State, and they'll have a shot. They'll probably have to play South Carolina to get to the finals. But, like, I don't know. I look at it and I wonder how much attention will there still be at that point.
She's gotten so much attention on the sport of women's basketball. It has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
no one's denying
it's
that.
ridiculous. So, I mean, if you're going to offer her $5 million to come play 10 weeks max, 9 weeks you come up short, 8 weeks is the regular season, and you can do that, and you're going and I guess on average, what WNBA players the highest paid, they make what, like $100,000 a year or something like that?
No,
it was like 300.
Okay, $300,000. Yeah. Even if it's $300,000, you get $5 million to go play.
Well, that's salary. I don't know what they can make in endorsements.
But wouldn't you think she's still going to make those in endorsements anyway?
I don't know. I don't know if the partnerships of the Big 3 are as big as the WNBA.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is she's still going to get the WNBA endorsements anyway.
Well, you're assuming she's playing in both.
I would assume that if she did it, she would do both. I don't think that she would choose one over the other.
The Big 3 might be saying they're making her choose one or the other, because otherwise, You don't have exclusivity to her playing.
I think Ice Cube came out and said that she could do both. In his he did an interview with McAfee. I think he said that she could. You saw it too, Eddie? Yeah. So I would do both.
I mean,
$5 million, and that's, you're not coming close to that in the WNBA in a year.
She could do both all she wants. I'm not watching either. So have fun. I'll let you know.
Wow.
There's a lot going on.
Shots fired.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's cold-blooded.
There's just a lot going on, man.
That's cold-blooded.
He's cold-blooded.
And
cold-blooded.
There's a lot going on, and I don't have time to watch Caitlin Clark and the Big Three. All right? And if it's Joe Clark,
that's different.
Yeah.
You play basketball, don't you? Well, go ahead and jump.
But,
My invitation is falling.
By the way, didn't Portnoy offer her $10 million, Lee? Dave Portnoy offered her $10 million.
I think they're playing their Barstool.
Yeah, the intramurals.
Yeah, that one. That's the one. $10 million to play in the intramurals. Because
and I would choose that. And I would choose that over the WNBA.
Hell yes, you would dominate.
But I would make them commit to 3-4 years. You got to give me a 4-year, 5-year deal of $10 million or more,
and then just bail.
Why not? Why not?
Quick $40 million.
I don't give a damn at that point. Why not? WNBA, please. Kick rocks. $10 million a year? Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll
Good
see
for
what
you,
happens.
Portnoy.
Yeah.